appropriate music there from Jeff Kirkendall, because we have the foremost musician here, conductor, joining us on AM Tampa Bay from the Florida Orchestra. The music director of the orchestra, Michael Francis, is back with us once again, bringing in cameras and lights and everything else. Wherever you go, people are following you with big, bright lights and cameras.
Well, Jack, I do try, but it seems your office is so glamorous it doesn't need the extra lights. And I know flattery will get me everywhere.
Glamorous. If people could see this place.
How have you been, Michael? You look great.
Oh, thanks, Ed. I've been great. Thank you very much. We had a really fabulous opening weekend, and it's been a real...
Oh, and great reviews in the paper. I saw that, and it was fantastic in one of the papers. That was terrific.
Michael, aside from your talent, I would think one of the reasons why they brought you here to St. Pete is because you're a young guy, and you're going to invigorate the younger people to go to the orchestra and see it. So how do you do that? How do you convince the younger people to go?
I think people just like quality, no matter what age they are. And if you can give quality, and the Florida Orchestra is undoubtedly quality, and with great programming, and if there's a real buzz around the place, people will come. That's what matters, is you look after yourself in the right possible way and trust that others will want to come and see you. And so far, so good. 3 concerts in, and I think we've had some of the best audiences we've ever had for an early season concert.
I know in talking about the Florida Orchestra here on the radio, I talk about how you go from Rachmaninoff, and of course I like Rachmaninoff's Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini, stuff like that, but from Rachmaninoff to Rocky to Led Zeppelin, all these others. Yeah. So it's quite a mix of stuff that you do, not at the same time, I'm sure, right?
Well, I mean, within a week of each other. So, as you say, I was conducting Rachmaninoff with Valentina de Sitza on the weekend, and I'm conducting Rocky this weekend. So, within 7 days.
Now, you're talking about like Rocky from the movie.
I mean Rocky from the movie. I mean the one that everybody likes to pump weights to. You got it. You got it. Karaoke here, right and early.
Oh, he does it any hour. He's a crazy guy here. But I understand, and one of the things I say, too, when I talk about the Florida Orchestra is the fact you don't have to go so far to go to them. They're going to come to you in Tampa, St. Pete, and Clearwater. But you've got a very unique venue, or a couple of unique venues coming up here next. Tell us about that.
Yes, on Wednesday at 11 o'clock, we'll be playing at St. Joseph's North Hospital. And then on Thursday at 10:30, we'll be playing at Tampa General. I have to say the St. Joseph's North one is quite a particularly important one for me. My daughter was born there, and my appendix was removed there about 4 weeks ago. So all in all, it's
4 weeks ago?
4 weeks ago?
Since the last time you were in here.
I know, it happened all very dramatically.
You look lighter. I couldn't figure out what it was.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm about 0.4 an ounce, I think.
Have they kept it up there? They have it on display, the Michael Francis appendix?
He's putting strings on it, and he's going to play it at the next concert.
I don't know what you can do with it. How do you get the orchestra into a hospital venue, into the relatively narrow corridors and things like that?
ICU's pretty big.
Well, we do choose a slightly smaller orchestra for that reason, and we just sort of size out the venue, work out how many players we can fit in, and go make it work.
About how many will you get in there?
Quite a lot, at least 40.
Oh, my
yeah,
Lord.
I mean, so it's an orchestra. It's not sort of an enlarged string quartet. You will be hearing the Florida Orchestra.
Yeah.
So you got Vivaldi's Four Seasons coming up?
I know. That's certainly one which everybody
But you're not
knows
conducting
about.
that one, right?
No, I'm not. A good friend of mine, Lara St. John, a Canadian violinist, is going to come and lead from the violin, so there's no conductor. Sometimes it's nice for the musicians to be given their own free steam, you see, as such. And so I let them off the leash, and Lara will do a wonderful job. And she's paired that with a piece it's based around Argentinian tango. So you really want to hear these two pieces together, also called the Four Seasons, but of the Four Seasons of Buenos Aires. And it's a fantastic piece. The two together with some Bach, wonderful concert.
Have you ever thought about doing, and I've seen this done, of course, on the internet several times, but doing one of those flash mob things at International Plaza or someplace like that, particularly International Plaza? That would be a good place to do it because of the way it's set up there.
It would be an excellent place to do it. It's a really fine idea. We do play there, we did play there last February. We did a really nice sort of impromptu concert which we had just underneath where the food court is.
Yeah.
And in there, and that was a really fabulous venue, great acoustic. And it was rammed. And we thought we'd have people passing by and going shopping. No, they all stayed.
They stopped to listen.
They all stayed. It was fantastic.
I think you need to do it with a flash mob concept during the Christmas season. Yeah. Just come out there and they start showing up and playing one and then another and another and another, and that would be something. And get these guys out with their videos, and that'll go viral big time.
I think that's a great idea.
I believe we put your video when you guys did that on our blog, actually, and it was a big hit.
I think those things are always wonderful. Anything that really sort of shows the accessibility of classical music, just hearing it live, that's the thing. When you go to a concert, you hear it, you with everybody, you feel the atmosphere. It's so passionate and so exciting.
What's your favorite? Your favorite composer, your favorite music? If you had to sit around or in the car, if you could turn on anything you wanted to hear, what would it be?
Well, in the car,
aside from AM Tampa Bay.
Well, you beat me to it. You just beat me to it. Well, in the car, actually, I listen to all sorts of things because classical music, if I listen to romantic music, can sometimes go too quiet and too loud in the car. So I listen to folk, to jazz, all sorts. And to conduct, I have to say, I'm terribly greedy. I love it all. So Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, Mahler, opera, Rocky, Lawrence of Arabia this weekend, you name it. Wow. I want to do it all.
Well, you'll get a chance to hear it from Michael Francis, the Florida Orchestra music director. And let me get the website here. I know I've got it written down somewhere because I've given it 100 times. Have you got the website?
FloridaOrchestra.org, I believe.
Florida Orchestra.
People are nodding. People in the know are nodding.
Everybody in the background is nodding. FloridaOrchestra.org. And you can find out where they're going to be, when they're going to be near you. And it's inexpensive, as we tell you on the commercials, kids-free, and just an incredible variety of stuff. Or you can have a bad day and end up in the hospital. You might catch them there. Otherwise, but Michael Francis, thanks for coming down today. We really appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Jack. We look forward to seeing you at the rehearsal on Friday as well.
I'll be there. And by the way, you're learning English real well.
Thank you so much. I'm trying. I am learning from you. I'm trying.
It's good. It's 8:49, and we got Rack Your Brain coming up here in 6 minutes on AM.